This is Young Trader. This is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at crude oil, and at natural gas. But we're also going to take a look here. We're going to take a look at the VIX. We're going to take a look at the Nasdaq. We're going to take a look here at Boeing. Now, their numbers are out before the open tomorrow. And then IBM, which is out tomorrow. And then we'll take a look here at NVIDIA. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin. Now you can see here how nicely this came right on through here. Now I did a detailed video there for you this afternoon, so if you want to check it out, just go right to the videos, and it's all right there for you. Okay, now you can see here where I was talking about this 50 SMA very, very nicely. You look at this nice green candle, and we're above that key 89.20 level. Okay, so today's high, we got here all the way up to a 91.970 very, very nicely. We were looking here really at that 92 level, so we came here pretty close. Now your next big target is going to be right here. It's going to be this 93.174. That's your 100 SMA. Now, if you get above that, then we have another target going on up here on your 21-day at 93.388. So those are going to be your two upside targets. And then if we can clear that, then we just take these price channels and come right on over. Okay, so you're looking at 95.705. We'll come over top of this candle here. You're looking at 96.625. We'll come to the top of this candle. You're looking at 99.765, and then so on until we hit all the way to that big retest at 110 level. Okay. But again, we have to get above and close above this key 100 SMA here and this key 21 SMA here on the weekly chart. Now, this is looking very, very nice. You get at 60, you got plenty of room to run. The green is over your red, plenty of room to run. Looking very, very nicely here, okay? So on the downside here, we're just watching this price channel. This is going to be the key 89.20. As long as we can hold above that, and above that 50-day, we're doing very, very good. This is just kind of like a breakout situation right now. We had this double bottom situation. We had left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and this could come right go easily to 105 very, very easy if we just flip over that inverse head and shoulders, okay? So basically what we're doing is when it gets up to this 100-day or gets up to this 21 SMA here on the weekly, we want to see what the reaction is going to be. Is it going to hit it and then come on down? Or is it going to blast right on through like we had on this price channel? A lot of times they'll come up just like we had here yesterday, went right into the price channel. Today it held, okay, the top of that candle plus that 50-day, and then she broke right on through. So let's just see how this all shakes out. But it looks like there's a lot of interest in Bitcoin on crude on the way on up. Now I'm long the IBIT, and I added to the position this morning also because we're breaking above this key price channel. So I'm going to see what the reaction is if we hit this 100-day and that 21 SMA here. If we can rock it all the way back up here and retest that 110 area very, very nicely. Okay, so don't give up on the old Bitcoin, but let's see what the reaction is going to be. Easy way I trade this, IBIT for the long, BITI for the short, working very, very nicely. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have the old crude oil and we have natural gas. Now you can see crude oil here. We have this consolidation situation going on after this bottoming tail. Okay, so well, at least we're holding this 8-day. Now you can see how the 8-day came all the way down, rounded off. Now it looks like it wants to flatten out, but this is going to be key support level right here is at 62.17. So that's what we want to watch on a closing basis. Right now we're closed, so that's looking really good. But when the futures open at 6 p.m. tonight, we got to make sure that it holds that 62.17 level. Now, obviously, if that's lost here, we come to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 61.76, and we'll come down to the bottom here. You're looking at that 60.88, and then we have this nice big candle right here that we're looking at 60.44 level. Okay, and then we just follow the candles down, 59.43 level. We have 58.76. We have 57.88, and then we have that 55.12 is your big retest. But let's just see how this is all going to shake out. We have this consolidation period. Now, remember, we're coming into seasonality here, so that's always very, very bullish there for crude. However, this year we have the tariff situations, okay, and then we have OPEC dumping a pile of oil on the market here starting May 1st, okay? So all the voluntary cuts are all going to be coming on here. So let's just see how this all shakes out. We could be trading in a nice range here. So realistically, what we're watching here is that 62.17 on the bottom, and we're watching on the top side here. We're going to be watching that 65.18 there on the top. Okay, we get above that, all we do is follow these candles up. 67.43. There's your 50-day. We come to the old hundo there at 69.71, and then 71.50. That is your 200-day, and then we have your big retest up here going on at 72.28. But let's just trade this range here until she's either going to break up, then we know exactly where it's going to go, or she breaks down, then we just follow the candles down. Now, natty gas, well, you're in the shoulder season now here, remember, on natural gas. So there's really nothing going to be here at this time. It's just falling right off the map. So we're hitting it, sitting right about that 3 level. If you look at the upside here, we're going to be looking at that 306, and then we're going to be trying to be pretty much attacking the top of this candle here. That's that gap. That's 311, and then your fill at 316. That is already filled very, very nicely, but now that becomes resistance, and then we're going to be looking at that 8-day sitting at 3.28. But again, that price is below this 8-day, and that's never good. That's always sideways to down kind of an action. We had this double top right there, okay, at 4.25, and we couldn't we tried to retest it at 420, and then she just fell right off the map here. So there's really not much here. I did not trade natural gas today, long or short. There just isn't enough movement there for me. There's just way better stuff out there as of right now, kind of a situation, okay? So again, what we're watching on the upside is just watch this key level, that 306 on the upside. On the downside, we want to watch that 3 flat, and then we're going to watch 283, and then we have a 100-day simple moving average there on your weekly chart there, down at a 2.73 level. So we got a long ways to go. This is not quite oversold yet. This is not oversold yet. So this could go lower, but we're probably hanging right around that 3 area. That's probably what we have for right now. Okay, let's take a look here now at the VIX. Okay, here we have the VIX. Now, you always want to kind of keep your eye on the VIX. I know it doesn't work like what it used to do, but actually it does work actually pretty good. Now, when we get these spikes highs, okay, we rallied all the way, the VIX rallied all the way up to 65.73. That's a buying opportunity in stocks, okay? It might seem like the world's falling down, but what you want to do is buy when there's blood in the streets. That's the key level here. So we went all the way up here to 60.13, and then we're spiking down, and now we're sitting all the way down here at 30.44. We're holding this 21-day here very, very nicely. But again, if that is lost here, you're going to come right down to this 50-day and right down to 24.33, and we could come right back down here to this, what do we have here on this 100-day? You're looking at that 20 level, okay? But right now we're holding that 21-day. See how these the 21-day, 8-day, 50-day, 100-day, 200-day. It works on any kind of chart, any kind of a thing. No matter if you have a stock, commodity, whatever, even the VIX here, okay? See how nicely this works? So you can actually trade the VIX. I haven't traded that in a long time. But again, there's just so much other things out there to trade. You can only do so much here, okay? But again, what we want to do is we're watching this 30 level. We start losing that. We're going to come right down to that 50-day at that 24.33. So remember, when you see these big spike ups like this is buying opportunity in the stock market, okay? So always remember that. Yeah, everything's selling off. Oh, it's down 1,000, it's down 200. That's when you get in and you buy, because this never lasts, it never holds. It pops and it dumps. Okay, let's take a look here now at the Nasdaq. Okay, I'm going to show you here the Nasdaq. Now, the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the S&P, the charts look pretty much all the same, okay? We put in this topping situation here, and then we just can't seem to get through that 21 SMA. Now, when you look at here on this chart, yesterday we put it at a low here. What we're looking for, that yesterday we had that low of 15,685. What we're literally watching is the bottom of this candle right here at 1555, 1575, and it held it very, very nicely. Now, today with the turnaround Tuesday, I said what we want to do is we want to watch the top of this candle, 16,066. There's your gap. And then we wanted to watch the bottom of that candle, 16,181. There's your fill. That is filled now, okay? With this candle, that is filled. But you notice where it went? It goes right into that 8-day, okay? See that? Look at that. See, this is why you trade the charts. It goes right into the 8-day at 16,438, okay? So I owned TQQQs today, and I dumped it out at 45.75, okay? I bought it yesterday, and I dumped it out at 45.75 there today, okay? So I just trade the charts, and then if it goes higher, I can always buy it back. If it goes lower, I can always buy it again, okay? Situation. So we're watching this 8-day, 16,439 level. Now, if we can get above that, say something happens and we get above that, okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at the top of this candle right here, okay, so you're looking at that 16,600. There's your gap. And then we want to look to the bottom of this candle here, 16,753. And then we want to look to that 21 SMA here at 16,832 level. Okay, so always watch these gaps because that's going to be resistance. Once we get into the gap, then we look to the next, to the fill, and that's going to be resistance again. And then we look to the 21 SMA here. But right now we have a downtrending chart, high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and lower high. This 8-day is going to be everything. So remember, we have a good rally going on today. Dow's up 955, Nasdaq's up over 14, but one day does not make a market. So just remember that this is a trader's market. Okay, let's take a look here now at Boeing. Okay, here we have Boeing. Now, their earnings are going to be tomorrow before the bell. That's why I wanted to show you today. So if you're trading Boeing, we want to make sure that you see what you got going here, in advance. Now, let's look at the downside here. What we're doing is we're watching this 161.69. That's your 21 SMA. That's going to be very, very key support level on a closing basis. And then we're going to have this 158.39. That's going to be also very, very key here, okay? So what we had is we had this big sell-off here. We have a nice pull, and we have this flag kind of a situation going. So any kind of good numbers would send this thing much, much higher. But if we start losing this 21 SMA here and lose that 8 SMA at 158.40, then what we're going to do is we're going to follow the candles right down. So you're looking at 156.47. We'll come to the bottom of this candle here. 153.54, and then we'll come down here. You're looking at 152 flat, and then we start going right there. You're looking at 149.41, and then we can just come all the way down to the bottom here. You're looking at 137.94, and then you have your big retest at 128.88. So I don't know what the numbers are going to be. I don't really trust this going into the earnings. They had a lot of problems. China is kind of rebelling against. They don't want the Boeing here now, so we got to see how it all shakes out. Now, again, on the upside here, if it keeps going, we're looking here at 165.89. That's going to be your big resistant level. And then we're going to come right here to this 50 SMA here, okay, at 167.11. And then we have the 21-day at 168.77. Now, again, if we can get above all that there situation, then we can start coming up to the top of this candle at that 172.21 level. We can come up here at 178.50. Then we're going to have that big retest at 184 level. But there's a lot of resistance here. You got your 200-day, your 50-day, and 100-day. So let's see how this all shakes out. So we could still go sideways action. So again, watch that key 21-day and that 8-day on the downside. On the upside, just watch that 200-day, the 50-day, and the 100-day. That's going to be your big resistant area. Now, what we have here, you're only sitting at 50, so that's plenty of room to go up or down. You're kind of sitting in the middle. Your green is over your red, which shows that momentum there to the upside, but we have this sideways action here, have a pole here. It's not really what you call like a bull flag situation, but you're in that area. So let's just see how that earnings shake out there tomorrow morning. Okay, let's take a look here now at IBM. Okay, IBM is going to have their earnings tomorrow after the close, okay? So we want to be very, very, if you're trading this here, you want to pay attention to that, okay? So all these charts are sitting pretty much the same here, okay? So what we want to watch is this 21-day at 239.99. That's going to be key. Then we have 100-day at 239.15. Then we have your old 8-day sitting there at 237.34. So we're all sitting right here, but we have this sideways consolidation kind of a situation. Now, if you start losing this 8 SMA here, okay, at that 237, then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at that 232.93, and then we could venture down to this candle. We look at that, you're looking at 227.51, and then we're going to come right down here to this 222.51. This is going to be very, very key support here. This is going to be that 200-day. If that's lost, then we're going to do the retest there at that 214.50 level. Okay, so now on the upside here, after we get through this whole consolidation thing, we're really looking here for this 50-day at 248. Okay, so you can see this chart here. We had this double top. See this double top here situation here, high, high, and then it just sold off, and we have that series of lower high situation going on down. But you can reverse that trend if it gets closes above that 248.18. And then what we do is we can come right to that price channel at that 254.32 level. But right now we just have sideways action. You really have to see how that earnings is going to shake right on out. That's going to be the key. You're sitting at 49 here on the RSI. We got to an oversold condition. Now we got plenty of room to run to the upside if it wants to go. But again, it can also run to the downside. Your green is over your red. That shows momentum there to the upside situation. but we have this consolidation. We got to see how IBM's all going to shake out. We got to see, listen to the conference call and see how that's all going to work. Okay, let's now take a look here now at NVIDIA. Okay, here we have NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA really is not participating much in this rally, okay? Realistically, you're looking at, like I had that TQQs, that's up over 7% today, okay? Now, you look at NVIDIA, you're up 1.8%, okay? So it's really a whole lot of nothing, okay? So it just, I don't know if people really have the confidence going in with this, but remember, the earnings aren't out all the way till May 28th, okay? So you got plenty of time on the old NVIDIA here. But when you can see this, you have this high, lower high, lower high, lower high. This is a downtrending chart, okay? There's nothing bullish about this chart, okay? So when we look at like this 8-day, it's rolled over. 21-day rolled over. This is all waterfall situation. There's nothing bullish that says, wow, I got to get into NVIDIA now because it's going to tear right on up, okay? It's not going to happen right now. That's reality, okay? So on the upside here, what we're really watching here, if you're looking at the big targets, is we're looking right here at this 105 area. Really, what you want to do is get above that 100 mark, and then we look for that 105 mark, okay? We get above that, we can look to that 107, okay? That's what we're going to look at. And then we come over here to this same kind of a scenario where we have this big green candle, and then we have this sideways action, okay? So we'd be looking for the top of that candle at that 115 area, and then we have right here, we have that 116.79, which is your 50 SMA here. And then obviously we have your price channel going on up there at 122. But right now, I can't see any way. You got so much resistance. Your price is below all your simple moving averages. That's never good. And when these are all downtrending, there's really nothing positive here. You want it to be like this, where everything is uptrending, bottom left to upper right. This is just sinking right on down, okay? So what we're looking at here, like on the downside, is obviously we want to watch yesterday's low, okay? So you're looking at that 95 area, okay? So if you look at this candle right here, you had 94.46. So right there, just look at that 95 area. If that's lost, we'll come right down here. You're looking at the 92 area, and then we have that retest at 86. So just figure out a downside, 95, 92, and then 86 retest, okay? So that's what you're looking for. Now, again, if that 86, say, is lost here, okay, this could fall quite a ways, okay? So you could come all the way down to the bottom of this candle very, very easily. You're looking at 75.16. Now, there's a gap here I want to show you, okay? You're looking at that 74.22 level, and then we looked at a fill situation here. You're looking at 68.89 level. So you have a gap in the fill way down there. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, but if we start losing this price channel, that 86.62, this is going to be a pretty nice good target right here, is this gap in this fill. So always remember that the gaps in the fill, if they're on the downside or the upside, it's support and resistant levels, and those are targets, okay, situation. It really has to get back at least up here to this 105 area, 107 area, and then we can come up to this 116 area here. But that 8-day and 21-day are everything here on the old NVIDIA. Now, if you want to trade this, it just is just a trade, just like the stock market. The stock market is a trader's market. It's not a buy and hold. This is going to go here. Now, again, that being said, if the T-man can get these tariffs straightened out, it looks like India wants to make a deal, and this country, all these countries, come together and say, hey, let's get a deal together. And then China will have to come in there. If they could get a deal again, you will have a rip your face off rally like you just can't believe. But that takes time. It's not going to be instant. It's not going to be overnight. So it's a trader's market until we can get some of this tariff situation behind us. Okay, that's what I got for you. Now I'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we will do it all over again. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.